All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is December 2nd, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. I want to thank everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for following my content. Special shout out to all my members. Thank you for your subscriptions. I don't take that for granted. What a day today. Nothing but chop. And then some more chop. Followed by chop, finishing up with even more chop. All right, totally volatile. It was the 8 EMA. Let me just say, SPY had a love fest with the VWAP line. It was under it. It was over it. They were rolling in the hay. I'm just saying they could not break free of VWAP. Not one rubber band candle was broken. All right, let's take a look at a few announcements before we take off. A few announcements here. Let's take a look. First one, members e-learning on Thursday, December 4th. Starts at noon, finishes at 3. Everybody's an hour long each. Doug gives a presentation. I give a presentation. Rick gives a presentation. All on fundamentals of risk management, position size, stop loss, portfolio diversification. Okay, that's Thursday at noon in the combo room. Right, got another one here. And we got, where is it? Here it is. Okay, open house for the BYOB Trading Room tomorrow, December 3rd, 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 p.m. Okay, going to do some open house all day tomorrow. Hope you can make it. If you're listening this out there in podcast land, digital land, and cyber land, scan this QR code with your smartphone camera. Pop-up will appear. Press the pop-up. It will open up a tab in your browser. In the browser, just fill out the registration form. We will email you credentials to get into the room tomorrow. If you do not see your email with your credentials, please check your spam folder. Thank you. Right there. All right. Another one we have is, here it is, Black Friday. Black Friday sale. Lifetime subscription, regularly $10,000. Right now on sale for the low price of $39.95. Okay, $3,995. That usually goes for $10,000. The other one is Cyber Monday. Still going on right now, and that is a 12-month subscription for $1,205, and then you get an extra 6 months on top of that. So that's 18 months for the price of one annual. All right, so you get an extra half year free. All right, so that's Black Friday and Cyber Monday, both those sales. Again, the link will be for the Black Friday sale, and the annual Cyber Monday sale will be in the description of the video. Same with the registration link. That will be also in the description of the video. Let's take a look at SPY. Let's take a look at the 10-minute chart. Okay, so what do we have? We had a 10-minute uptrend, followed by a 10-minute uptrend, then a 10-minute downtrend, then a 10-minute uptrend, then a 10-minute downtrend, and then a 10-minute uptrend, and then a 10-minute downtrend, then a 10-minute uptrend, and then we finish off with a 10-minute downtrend. Okay? Not one time was the rubber band candle broken, either the bearish side or the bullish side. Okay? I mean, it was a love fest with the VWAP line. It was up over it, under it, over it, under it, over it, under it. It did not go anywhere. It just went right across. Okay? Looking for a breakdown here. They put in the triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. Triple bottom here. And we're looking for a breakdown down to towards about 677.50. But never got the breakdown after the triple bottom here. And then they went back up to VWAP again. So there's SPY. Okay, stayed right in this channel. This green line right here. What is this green line? This is the trend line coming right off of the all-time high. So we got starts, originates at the all-time high. There's the second touch. All right, and then here's the third touch. And ever since we climbed on top of it, We've spiked it, stabbed it, you know, shot at it a few times, but we have not been able to close significant candles underneath it. So that is a good sign. All right, breaking the downtrend right there. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. Got a 10-minute, a week 10-minute downtrend coming into the close, a one candle downtrend. And we just broke over the downtrend line on the daily chart, and we're holding above it. That is really bullish. That's really looking good. 2-hour chart. What do we got here in the 2-hour chart? Bullish consolidation. Let's get a clean chart. All right, so you can see it's not really an uptrend, not really a downtrend. This would be today's 2-hour chart right here. Not an uptrend. You can see one is laying right on top of the other one. Okay, so just bullish consolidation, because we came from here and we rallied up and we just went straight across right there. So that is bullish consolidation on the SPY 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, what kind of candle we put in here? All right, so it looks like we got a higher low and a higher high closing over the bullish trap again, over the rising 17 again, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Is it? Again. All right, and price action is looking really good. So if you remember back here, okay, we got the two bookends. See these two big red candles? Okay, we had a big igniting candle down, huge candle. Was 653.18, started at 674. So that's a $20 candle right there. $20 red sell-off candle. Okay, so they didn't get any follow-through. And I think the bulls smelled the weakness in the bears, and they ran off and made a new all-time high. Okay, again, another $20 candle, maybe a $25 candle. There's 675.94. This is 652.30, so about a $22 candle right there. Again, no follow-through on the big candle. And I think the bears smell weakness. I think the bulls smell weakness on the bears part, okay? Because you can see, look at this 5-candle rescue operation right there. All right, so we were in a downtrend because here's a low. We made a lower low, so we got ourselves in a downtrend. And right after clearing on the third day, clearing the top of this or coming over the top of that, we made a higher high. So there's a uptrend. We converted the downtrend into an uptrend right here after that big red bookend right there. So there's the bulls rallying price back up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. I like the consolidation up here. All right, a little bit too tight. I wish they'd kind of give a little pullback or something, kind of show, pick up some energy, maybe some spinach, eat some red meat, you know, give a little rest, and then take a nice running shot at the all-time high. So we are within striking distance of the all-time highs up here, okay? We got up as high as close to 684.01 today. That was a nice day today. Didn't break over the top of that, but 684.01. The all-time high, of course, is right there. That is 689.70, okay? So you can see we were about within $6 of hitting that all-time high. And the 10-day ATR is $9.83. Again, we are within striking distance of the all-time high up here, okay? Striking distance, very, very close. It could happen any day. All we need is a tweet, all right, or some good news, or little something, something, all right, and we could make it there, okay? I'm going to say Intel's on fire, all right, not in a bad way, in a good way, okay? Really rising hard and fast. Amazon's looking good. A lot A lot of them are looking good. So there's SPY. Today's candle higher low, higher high, closing over the trap over the 17 and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We'll put it on the quad lines. All right, we're going to zoom way out. Okay, you can see we're in an uptrend. We got ourselves in an uptrend because, again, there's a high. We made a higher high. So we're at the top of quadrant 4, and we're in an uptrend. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Weekly chart is still in an uptrend. Nothing broken there. Monthly chart is still bullish and in an uptrend there. Okay, so nothing broken on the weekly or the monthly. Daily's looking good now. I like the idea that we're holding. I could, we could hold for a week. I don't really want it to hold for a week, but really, if they could go another $60 and hold for a week, I'm all for it. Hold for the week, all right, and go another $60. We'll see. All right, so there's SPY. All right, so not a very good day to trade today. Okay, again on the 10-minute chart, look at this. Over, come back down, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and then back under again. I mean, just a roller coaster right there. Okay, it was a very difficult day. If you did not take a trade today, pat yourself on the back. If you made money today, pat yourself on the back. Okay, it was a extremely difficult day with trends lasting no more than 2 candles. All right, before turning around and making bullish engulfing or bearish engulfing. All right, if you made money, if you broke even today, pat yourself on the back. All right, this was an incredibly hard day. Very, very hard. Okay? The good news is there's not too many days like this. That's the good news. The second good news is we're consolidating, so there's going to be a breakout. And we hope it's to the upside, but it may be to the downside. All right, but we hope it's to the upside. Okay, so it is bullish consolidation, so we are expecting price to rip higher or at least make a try at it. Okay, and we noticed the triple top, and I mentioned this in the pre-market video that we had a top, and we got another top, and we're making another top. And I told traders to be careful because we have a triple top. All right, and it's likely that we come flying down. All right, and I thought for sure we were going to come down to this area right here where that apex is between the two V's here. See the two valleys? I thought for sure we're coming there. I knew we would make some pit stops here at the lows, but we didn't even get to the lows. We just got to the gap fill right there. Okay, so came down, filled this gap, went up there, filled that gap. Okay, so we filled 2 gaps today. Okay, we filled yesterday's gap that was never filled by the bulls. All right, we did that first thing in the morning, and then we filled today's gap up. All right, that bullish gap up, and the bears filled that gap today. So double gap fill right there. Okay, so it was bulls and bears fighting it out, and you can see with all the whipsaw action back and forth, up and down, and a move over to the right. Okay, so there's our 10-minute chart. All right, what are we going to look at here? Let's take a look at QQQ, see how they did today. QQQ, and I'm going to venture to say they did probably close to the same thing. Again, look at these trends. They don't last longer than maybe 2 candles, 2 or 3 candles. See, there's 2 candles and pulls back to VWAP. There's 2 candles, then it pulls underneath VWAP. Okay, and there's 2 candles there, and then they're back up over. You see what I'm saying? And then 2 candles here, and then they're underneath it again. And then you can see the triple bottom there, and then back up over it. Okay, so there's QQQ. Coming into the close, I'm going to call it I'm going to call it a week. I don't know. I'm going to call it bullish consolidation. That's what I'm going to call this on the QQQ. I'm not going to give them an uptrend or a downtrend. They didn't earn it, so they're not going to get it. So they're going to get bullish consolidation. That's still pretty good. All right, on the 10-minute chart, bullish 10-minute consolidation into the close, holding the higher ground, staying up here over VWAP. All right, let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. And on the 2-hour chart, you can see you got the candlesticks riding on top of the 3 EMA. All right, you still got some space. Looking QQQ looking much better than SPY. SPY, the 3 EMA was riding right on top of the 8 EMA. But on the QQQ, you can still see between the candle bodies, okay, you can still see some daylight there. So QQQ, 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. SPY was 2-hour bullish consolidation into the close. Okay, on the daily candle, this is it right here. Nice candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the rising flat 17 or wavy 17. Up here, see there's a high right there, and they made a higher high. So they're up there in quadrant 4, see, April low, quadrant 4. Bullish and in an uptrend on QQQ. Again, same as SPY, weekly chart, nothing broken, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart, nothing broken. Again, still in an uptrend on QQQ. Okay, let's take a look at FNGU. Let's take a look at it on the daily chart. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over. See the bullish trap, closing over a bullish trap over flat 17 EMA right there with the quad lines on. We're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Love that. Price action, here's the April low. We're in the middle of quadrant 4. And have we made, yes, we did make a higher high here. So we are in an uptrend and we're bullish. We're bullish because we're in quadrant 4 in the upper third. And we're in an uptrend because we made a higher high. So bullish and in an uptrend on FNGU. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM, there is a high. We made higher highs. So we have a bullish up in quadrant 4 is bullish and in an uptrend. Today's candle is the high there is 247.55. The high there 247.68. So lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the flat 17, over that all-time high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, but still bullish. All right, up in quadrant 4 and in an uptrend, they made a higher high. Okay, so bullish and in an uptrend. IWM. What do we want to go after next? Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow not in an uptrend, and it's hard to explain why, but if you follow me close, okay, here, there's a low. See, it goes below the 17. See, there's a valley low. Start from this high, pull down to this low, and then up to there. So there is a valley low right here. Okay, and you notice price made a lower low. So that's a downtrend right there because they're making lower lows. All right, now they need to make higher highs, but there's no highs over the 17 until you get to this high right here, which happens to be the all-time high right there. So they have to either make a lower high, make a higher low, and then come back and break through it, or continue on and take out the all-time high. They don't have to do it, but the good news is, here's the good news. They're up in quadrant 4. They're in a downtrend, and the downtrend is not moving down, it's moving up. So they're in a dysfunctional downtrend. Okay, notice that downtrend's not working. You got a bullish trap here. Obviously, that downtrend's not working. We got a bullish trap going on right here. Okay, so they are in a dysfunctional downtrend. That means it's working for the bulls, and they're up there in quadrant 4, so that's bullish. You can see they're still in the upper third, so that's bullish right there. Let's take a look at gold. So gold, it's still in an uptrend, all right? Hasn't made any lower lows, all right? Today's candle, lower high, lower low, closing. I'm going to say inside the trap, over the 17, over, see the pink line? All-time high anchored VWAP. Up at the top of quadrant 4, see the high? They made higher high. So they're in an uptrend. So there's that's bullish, top of quadrant 4 there. See where it originates? Way back here, back in 2023. So that's bullish up here and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at silver. All right, silver yesterday made a new all-time high. I think I see daylight there. All right, I do. So it's a lower high and a lower low. Closing over a bullish trap, over the 17. See this pink line here? That was the prior all-time high. So they're over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Probably take that off. We have to start a new one as soon as they're done making new all-time highs. Okay, so silver bullish, top of quadrant 4 and in an uptrend right there. Okay, if you're making new all-time highs, you better be bullish and in an uptrend. I don't know how you do it without being bullish and in an uptrend, is make new all-time highs. So here's UNG. Okay, UNG. Let me point this out to you because this is a little bit amazing going on here. Okay, it's amazing, but it's not amazing. Okay, this is the first time. Yesterday was the first time in a long time that UNG actually closed the candle over the 2025 high anchored VWAP. Okay, this is the first time they closed the candle over it. Now, they visited the area, but they were told to leave. Okay, you can see they visited here, and they were told to leave Area 51. Okay, came close, but the park was closed. They came close, all right, but they were snowed out. They got in, but they were asked to leave these 2 times right here. See, they did not close up there. They closed under there. So this is the first time they've actually closed the candle. Now, it's not a very high bar that we've asked UNG to beat, all right? Okay, because you can see the 2025 high is $24, and you know that all-time high anchored VWAP. Well, that 2025 high anchored VWAP only lines up at $15. Okay, and if we look back in UNG history, okay, on the monthly chart, you can see in the history of the UNG, the all-time high was up at 8,000. Okay, so the bar is a very, very low bar. Okay, it's like having, you know, your kids jump over a roll of dimes. Okay, it's not a very high bar there. Okay, so just point that out. But it is good news. Okay, because they are moving in a bullish direction as opposed to a bearish direction. They are still in the lower third, so that makes them bearish. The good news is they're finally holding higher ground. Okay, it's not way up there. Notice it's not up here. It's down here. They're holding this higher ground right here, and they're doing it for more than 2 days or 1 day. You can see 2 days, 3 days, they give it up. 2 days, they give it up. 1 day, they give it up. 2 days, they give it up. 1 day, they keep giving up. 2 days, they give it up. See? And this is the first time they hold for a longer period of time. All right? So we got a little uptrend going on right now. And they're doing some of the right stuff. But they're still down here in quadrant 1, and that's bearish. Okay? But they are doing some of the right stuff. Okay? And not to say that you couldn't trade an uptrend in there if you wanted to. I'm just saying that right now, it's not ready for me. It may be ready for you, but it's not ready for me. In no way do I want to park this in anything that I own, okay? It's just not bullish enough yet, okay? It's getting there, but not enough yet. So still bearish, but in an uptrend. So that's UNG. So USO. All right, USO, you can see this line which caps off the price action. See how it kind of puts a hat right on top of all of the price action. All right, so obviously it's slanted down, so it's a downtrend line. You could call it diagonal resistance if you wanted to. Price action for today is a lower high and a lower low, and we're closing underneath a bearish cross and underneath this flat 17. That's these red dots and green dots. See, we closed. There's the red dot closing underneath it. And we closed under the downtrend line, and we closed underneath the post-COVID high. Okay, so here's the COVID dip. Here's the COVID rally. There's the high from the COVID rally, which you can see we haven't done very much since making that high. The good news is we did hold the higher ground for 3 years straight. Okay, notice we down here, and we held the higher ground for 3 years straight. Just been moving over to the right. Okay, so we're still neutral. All right, we're not bearish because we're not in the lower third. We're not bullish because we're not in the upper third. So we're just still neutral right here near the midpoint line. And we're in a downtrend right now. All right, this doesn't seem like it's in any rush to move lower. I'm going to call it like it is. It doesn't seem like it has any direction as if it needs to get there anytime soon. I think they're just satisfied with where they are. I think they're just meandering around here at the 50-yard line trying to figure out which set of goalposts they're supposed to be running towards. Okay, so there's USO. Let's take a look at our technicals. Start off with T2101, and we held the higher ground, and notice the breadth, aka the participation, kind of held in high up there. That's a welcoming sign for me. I like that. On T2122. Yesterday we left off in the buy zone here. We made a lower low right here inside T2122, inside the buyer's chop zone, and the bulls with the horns pushed us out, and the bears clawed us back down into there. Okay, so the good news, we made like little higher lows here as compared to this point, and another higher low there. But the bad news is we didn't make any higher highs as compared to yesterday's price action. That would have been a high to beat right there. We did not do it. But let's look at this. We moved up, and we're over to the right and hanging out in here somewhere on the top side of the buyer's chop zone, in the buy zone, and in the overbought zone. You know, if they want to wave around in through here, that would be very bullish for the market, and I hope they can continue with that. I hope they can load up on some spinach and just stay there up in this area up here, okay, in the upper third, okay, bullish. Okay, that's T2122. T2123, still, let me look at it carefully, and they did not make a lower low, so they're still in an uptrend. They didn't make a higher high either. They're just kind of moving over to the right. Okay, so they didn't make a higher high, but they are up on the other side of the falling 200. You can see where it's falling from here down to there. So they're on the north side, and I'm a bull, so I like that. All right, because that's where I'd want to be if I was a bull. So they're still in an uptrend. Don't seem like they're in any rush to get anywhere soon. I do like the idea that they're holding this higher ground up there, and they're no longer on breaking this point here. This is the lower third. Okay, and you'll see it when I go to the 3-bar chart. Okay, so if you put the quad lines on from the April low right here, and you brought it up to the all-time high up there, okay, this would be the upper third, this line right here. And you can see we had a head and shoulders there before. And you can see the price action decapitated the head, therefore negating the bearish head and shoulders pattern by making a brand new all-time high right there. Okay, so on the 3-bar chart, we have, this would be support. Okay, so closing candles underneath here would not be good. All right, and thank gosh it held up right through there, right at the same neckline that held up before when we made a brand new high. So will we make another brand new high, or will we make a double top? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be as bullish as it was here, but look how long it took them to hang out before finally making a move for the all-time high. Okay, almost a month and a week, or a month and 2 weeks. Okay, so that's like 45 days, I don't know, maybe 30 trading days right there. Okay, it took them a while before they finally decided to make a move and go for that new all-time high. So we'll see. It's only been, I mean, they just got here on the 24th of November. All right, so it looks like they had some turkey, and now they're just kind of wandering around. Okay, so will they have to go all the way to the holiday season into the 25th, all right, before they finally start thinking about moving up before the new year? We'll see. Right now, on the 3-bar chart, we have an all-time high. We have a lower high. We have a lower high, a lower high, and we don't even know if this high is done, but we got a lower high right there, if that is a high. And we got low, made a lower low, and a lower low, and a lower low. So we're still in a downtrend. If we take out this high, we'll be in an uptrend. Okay, and notice we're on the wrong side of the 200 SMA. This is the bearish side. I like to be on the top side. That's the bullish side. So this is bearish side down here underneath. You can see on the quad lines we are still in the upper third. So we're still bullish up here, but we're not seeing many signs of bullishness. All right, so we got a downtrend line right here. Okay, and I got a feeling they might be dealing with, see this downtrend line right there? And it's possible they're dealing with that line in the same way that SPY is dealing with the downtrend line too. All right, so maybe not this week. We'll see. Maybe if they can get free up here and close some candles independent of being attached to this downtrend line, we could see them break the chains and finally make a run for the red line up here. Okay, we'll see what happens. But I think they're dealing with this downtrend line right now. We'll see. Okay, so there's T2123 3-bar chart. Now FNGU. This is a 15-minute chart. Okay, so look at FNGU coming from, they broke major support, but the bulls came in and rescued the price action. So right now we're looking at a bull flag for right now. Okay, we got a high here. We made a higher high, so that's bullish. Okay, we haven't made a higher high than there yet. Okay, so still a lot of work to do on FNGU on the 15-minute chart. We did not make any lower lows, so you can see we made higher high. There's a higher low, a higher low, and a higher low. So we're still in an uptrend. We had a bullish gap up, all right, that was filled by the bears, but failed to make a lower low. So, and then we came back to return to VWAP and to hold the high. So we have right now is consolidation over prior consolidation. Okay, so you got consolidation there, and I'll just draw this in down here, do another one. All right, you got consolidation over, that is a bullish environment right there. Okay, that's bullish. Doesn't mean it's going to go up. It means that if I spotted a 10-minute uptrend in this product, I would definitely be interested in trading it to the upside, okay, because I'm looking at bullish environment right now. Okay, and you can see price action is up over. This is the pink line, the all-time high anchored VWAP. That is excellent news, and we are up over the fading 200. You can see the 200 starting to hook right there. This green line is the major support. We do not need to come back down under here. If we do, it might be game over for the highs for a while. Probably look for price to consolidate for maybe 6 months, maybe even 9 months to a year and a half before finally running up there and tackling the highs again. Okay, so that's a possibility. Okay, so there's 15 minutes still in an uptrend. All right, we'll see what happens. That's FNGU. All right, that's it. Okay, hey, Robert bought ONDS today. Let's take a peek at what Robert got. Rick shared a chart with us. I'm going to look at Robert's chart. I'm not forgetting you. So Rick shared a chart with us. Right. Well, he didn't share a chart. He shared some ticker symbols. Okay, so I think it was Tesla I liked. Yeah, Tesla. Out of all of them, I think I liked Tesla, and that was sometime over the holidays. So let's take a look at Tesla. All right, and before today, when I was looking at was bullish consolidation over prior consolidation, which I'm a big fan of if I'm a bull. Okay, so over this consolidation here. So I move up and hold the higher ground. So I like Tesla for the win. All right. I like that. Okay. I looked at the others. The others look interesting, but I like this one the best out of the ones he shared. Okay, so I like that. We got a double bottom here. All right, and price is gathering over the top of this double top here. All right, and it's kind of consolidating up on top of that. So for me, that's bullish. Okay, so you can see. Okay, you can see the top. You got a top here, top here. Remember I said we got consolidation over prior consolidation. So I said that's bullish. So I like this a lot. Now, today's candle was not that impressive, but they did kind of hold it together here. So they dipped and they recovered. All right, so I like this. Just need to break out up over the top of this right here. Somewhere over 433.20 would make an interesting upside move. Okay, right now, I'd look for the 10-minute uptrend. And you can see we didn't get a 10-minute uptrend until the closing time, and it was not over VWAP, it was actually under VWAP. Okay, so we got a VWAP pullback. And notice we went up through, and we pulled back and landed on top. Okay, so look for that to J hook off of there and head up higher. Watch that Tesla. Okay, that's the best one I like out of those. And Robert got some OND. And let's look at this on the daily chart. That's kind of thin. And price action is trying to break downtrend right there. So you still got a downtrend going on right there. I think you broke this trend right there. You did say OND, right? ONDS. ONDS. Gotta read the script. Okay, so nice pull back, higher low. Okay, so they made a higher low. I would look for this and nice green candles up that engulf these red ones. I would look for this to make a higher high or challenge that high right there. This is looking good. A lot of big whippy candles up there, but if you can clear that, I think there's hope for a double top, if not a higher high. I like it. That's the daily chart. Notice this was today's candle. Notice how he bought in on a bullish candle right there. See that? Wiped out the spinning top. All right, so that was nice. Okay, so all he's got to do is come up over the top of this wick right here. Now he was almost there. See how close he was? All right, so that's a good looking chart. Got a nice little uptrend going on right here. Okay, so looking for the breakout. You're up over. See, here's the peak in between two valleys. Notice the price action. I said this is a popular place to go, is that peak between the two valleys. So he was up over it for a while. So if he can get on top of that peak right there between the two valleys, okay, it's looking good right up there. It was up there earlier, and I think he can get back up there. So I like ONDS. And what else did he get? He got some Reddit. Reddit breaking out of the consolidation right here. Okay, see that? Not the prettiest of candles, but it's breaking out. And it's looking good. So they made a higher low. So it's got a kind of a wonky head, inverse head and shoulders there. But again, up over these two. See, this is where bears are. So up over where the bears are located, if they can blast through there, I think they can make a shot at those highs up there. Oh, you sold calls against resistance. I should have read that. And exited Reddit this morning. Okay. So look at Robert exited into strength. Okay. Nice work. Nice work. He saw the wick over here, and he probably said, if they can't hold it together, I'm going to exit right in that wick. So nice work, Robert. Well done. All right, that's it for me for today. I'll see everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock, okay, in the morning. Don't forget, open house. We'll see you all there. Should be doing a lot of talking. Yeah, you saw 100%. You saw the wick, okay. So I'll see everybody tomorrow. Again, open house tomorrow. Thanks, Robert. Tough day. It was a tough day if you were trading SPY. Not if you were trading Reddit, but if you were trading SPY, it was a tough day. All right? Okay, everybody, have a great night. Thank you.